Good morning, JFA family. I just finished this week's Centered Reading Plan. I trust you've been reading along with us this week. We were in Matthew chapters 18 through 22 this week. And something that just stuck out to me was the fact that God isn't afraid of our questions. So the disciples asked questions, the Pharisees were asking questions, even sometimes they were asking questions to try and trap him or trick Jesus, but he just answers them. And I love that it's so simple that we can ask God anything. Sometimes our questions are ridiculous, but they're questions we have. And I love that God is so gracious to let us come to him with all of our questions. So that was a huge thing for me this week. And then also, I just love that there's so many stories in these chapters. God teaches with parables, and I love stories. I love to hear people's stories. I love to tell people's stories. Their stories are one of my favorite things. And I think it's really interesting that that's what God uses to teach us. And I think it's an incredible reminder that our stories matter. The miracles that God has done in our lives, the way he works, our family, our history, it's important, and it can be used for the kingdom of God. And I think that a lot of times we forget to use our stories. We forget to tell it. We think people don't want to hear those, but stories are so important that God used them to teach. Jesus used them in every area of his ministry. That's how he taught. And I think a perfect opportunity for us is to share our stories this week. That's what I want to challenge you to do. What is God doing in your life? Pastor has talked multiple times that we are going to be centered this year. And one of those things is going out to eat with people. Go break bread with people. Tell them your story. Listen to their stories. How is God using them? What has God done in their life that can teach you something about your life? I think the fact that God uses stories to teach us so much is also a great reminder that our story is important and that he can use it for the kingdom in whatever way he sees fit. He is so good and so gracious. So don't be shy this week. Take somebody to lunch, make a new friend, take a new family out to lunch, but just listen to the stories around you. See how God is working and how he can use those stories to impact your life. And don't be afraid to share your own. Hope you have a great weekend. We can't wait to see you Sunday for Mother's Day, 10:30. We'll see you there.